Hello! Oh no, it's still doing a thing.
What? Oh, I can fix that.
Hello! Welcome! I'm really nervous. There's Steven. Fixing our green screen. Because we have a green screen now. What? So?
Don't mind me. I don't exist.
Welcome to Board Game House. I am 1/3 of the Board Game House. Thanks. Thanks, Mrs. Valley. And we're doing an art stream because that is what the community asked for. So, we're going to do it. I'm going to be painting Ariel on a pair of shoes for my sister-in-law. But I also have some other things to show you that I actually did not get out. Oh! Thank you, Billy Bogota, for the bits. Go do fun things with your small human nephew. So, but we have some other fun things. We're at 340? We're at 340 followers, which means we're only 10 away, and we're only halfway through April from our 350 follower goal. So if you're new in here and you've clicked on this for whatever reason, consider giving us a follow. Usually we play board games Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays we play regular board games, and the last Friday of the month we play Jackbox with the community. And then Wednesdays we switch back and forth between our homebrew D&D game 3 Sheets to the Wind, which we are playing this Wednesday, and Legacy games. And we just finished up our Betrayal Legacy playthrough, and we will be starting Gloomhaven next week. And we have another fun thing that we found. Ready? 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 We found music because I'm going to really try really hard to talk to the chat, but I get really focused really fast. So this is to keep me going, and so I don't have to worry about it too much. But I also have Steven here, who will also be talking to the chat.
I am going to be a disembodied voice, so I will try to, if she's focused on painting, if you guys have questions about what she's doing and everything, just shout them out. I will be reading chat, so that way I will kind of help her facilitate, and I'll ask her the questions for you guys. Your Padre's in here.
Oh, hello, curmudgeon! But yes, I am quite nervous about this, especially because I haven't painted in literally months, so we're going to see how this goes. But we have everything set up.
Maybe switch to the next level?
Sure. So we have everything set up. We have our nifty follower goal over there in the corner. These are the shoes I'm going to be painting.
Did you text your mom?
I didn't text her.
You should text your mom.
I
Megan's going
should.
to text her mom real quick to let her know that she's going live.
I should. Dad already popped in here, so.
Yeah. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I know that there's a few of you guys that have a D&D game that's going on right now. But welcome. Yes, we do have a new music app that has all kinds of royalty-free music. So it's just not going to be in the background. Let me know as far as audio levels, music, if you can hear it, if you can't hear it. Megan, whether or not she's too loud, not loud enough, all that kind of stuff.
I'm turning it up on my end. Okay, so first thing we're going to do.
Do you want to show some of the stuff that you've done before?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So, I don't do shoes very often.
You need the shoe, right?
I don't need that shoe right now. No, I'm going to do this one first. But I have some shoes here. Also, my Etsy store is not updated. I had planned on updating it, but I overslept this morning and was out late celebrating my dad's birthday. Also, if you all want to tell Curmudgeon happy birthday, his birthday is tomorrow. So, these shoes, don't judge their dirt, have been to Disney twice? 3 times?
Oh, I know.
Thanks, Talking Dog Games, for the bits. So these shoes have been to Disney 2 or 3 times, I don't know. But I usually wear them for the entire Disney trip whenever I do wear them. But as you can see, they're still holding up. And they've been on water rides and things because I sealed them. But I have the Lion King. This is actually my favorite panel. Because I really love Stitch. I have Mickey and Minnie on the back. And Genie, who's a little wonky. And
She wants to know if it's dirt at Disney or not glitter.
It is dirt. I love Disney. Remember that I love Disney, but Derek and I stayed for the kiss goodnight at the castle, and while doing that, a roach went over my shoe. So it scared the bejesus out of me. And I have the fireworks here, and I replaced the shoelaces with ribbon that I found.
I think you legitimately impressed G.
Yay! And then I have this one. G's gonna like this one. For reasons, but I have Beauty and the Beast. I have the Up House, which, not gonna lie, I'm real proud of that one. I have the castle on the back where dreams come true, and this is the part that G's gonna like, with the Cheshire Cat on the side. So, but this was before I really got, this was several years ago.
She has tiny hands and feet.
So, yes, these are 7s. I can wear children's size shoes if necessary. I have done that.
For Derek too.
Yeah, for Derek too. And then for Derek, I posted these in the Discord. Made him these when I surprised him with a trip to Disney for Star Wars weekends for his birthday. That's why I don't have to do it this way. So his favorite character other than Darth Maul is Boba Fett. And I prefer to paint Boba Fett over Darth Maul. And then I had to do Vader. But these were specifically used for Star Wars weekend when they used to do Star Wars weekends, but I have them on the back too. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll show the other stuff because I don't know where it is right now.
It's all here. Just
like later in the stream. So, we're gonna see how this goes. Like I said, I have not painted in months. Also, half of my time is gonna be spent mixing colors because reasons. So, because I don't have, that's what I like to do. I like to mix the colors myself to try and match it. I'm dumb that way.
So what are you painting on the shoes?
I'm painting Ariel on the shoes.
For?
Thank you, Talking Dog, for the bits. Yes, I'm painting Ariel on the shoes for my sister-in-law. She is going to Disney for her senior trip with a bunch of girls, and one day they're Disney bounding, which if you don't know what Disney bounding is, go look it up. It's amazing. Basically, you just put together clothes that resemble Disney characters. It's how adults have gotten by with wearing character stuff because adults can't wear costumes in the park. But it's super fun. So she is going to be Disney bounding as Ariel because her whole little group, each one of them has a different Disney princess that they're going to be Disney bounding, which I think is adorable. So I'm going to be painting her Ariel shoes for this for her birthday / graduation present. So yeah. Well, they do it, Talking Dog, they do it because of continuity. They're so specific. They don't want kids mistaking people walking around the park for their actual characters. That's the big thing. Because Disney has a system of underground tunnels, for those of you who don't know, which is why you literally never see characters that aren't in their right place because they travel underground to get to the various locations that they need to get to. So, the only time you can dress up, though, is during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. You can dress up, adults can dress up then. But you can't wear masks and can't have, like, weapons and things like that. But, like, people cosplay a lot at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna try really hard to pay attention to the chat and stuff. I haven't started anything here.
So you're gonna start with just doing a basic sketch.
Basic sketch of where I want her, because I know what I want to happen. I know that I want her face on this side, and I know that I want her hair to go back this way. Because eventually, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here, but I know that I'm doing the green here and here for her scales, and then I'll be doing the purple seashell here on the back for it. I don't know if I'll do anything here, but if I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to leave this white or if I'm going to paint it blue and then put like bubbles or something over here on this side. And if I do that, there is absolutely going to be a hidden Mickey on these, because reasons. Also, this song is called Glittering Girl, and I feel like that is really accurate for me right now. So.
Speaking of that, can you guys hear the music okay? Do I need to turn it up, turn it down?
Also, you guys are going to notice when I start... Hi! You're going to notice when I start painting, and it's been almost 15 minutes now that I've been sitting here just, like, chatting.
That's normal for our stream, though.
Yeah, I know. You'll notice that I'll start gathering paint right here, because that's where I actually prefer to mix, because it usually is done in very small, very, very small mixings. So, here we go, I guess. So, hopefully I don't mess this up. Let's put her here. I'll start there. So I'm just gonna do like a really like fast outline.
I've had the opportunity to watch Megan paint a lot. Like when she was doing you guys have all seen the backpack that she did for Gen Con. And her basic process is she does a very, very basic sketch, just for size and proportion, with no real detail in it. And then she then will then, once she starts painting, will actually kind of fill in the details and things like that.
My favorite part of painting, my favorite thing is actually doing the black outlines, because lining itself is, like, for lack of a better word, lining itself is a bitch, but you really start seeing things come together when you start outlining it, and it's my favorite thing. I love instant gratification, and lining is instant gratification. So,
G wants to know if you've ever used a wet palette. I don't even know what that means.
I have not. I'm not entirely sure what that means either. I have. That is wonky right there. When I was in high school, I did like actual oil painting and acrylics and things like that. Like very basically. Something's not right, and I don't know what it is. Also, I'm going to talk to myself a lot. So if in the middle of a sentence I start talking to myself, I'm very sorry. Also, we had to get music, because usually when I'm doing this, like if I were downstairs in my back room, I would be playing Disney music.
We should paint Star Wars.
I listened to John Williams.
Do you really?
I know, I really do. I listen to the Star Wars soundtracks. If I'm painting something from a video game, I listen to that video game soundtrack. Like, that's how I get myself into like what I'm doing. But I do want to know what a wet palette is.
Yeah, she's gonna drop it into the Discord later.
Yeah. I think I know where I'm messing with that. Here's her names. Here should be.
And for those of you that don't know, Megan is not a classically trained artist in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not.
But she is damn good at what she does.
Honestly, I didn't discover this
Until
college, yeah. I was literally, there's this really amazing artist. Her name is, oh gosh. Her name is Savannah. But I can't remember what her Instagram handle is. But she does a lot of small pieces and stuff. And I saw her doing it. And I was like, you know what? I want to try that. I want to try painting on small baubles and stuff. And something I noticed is that there was a lot of Disney stuff, but there wasn't a lot of nerd culture, geek culture stuff. So I was like, okay, well then I'm going to do things like Cartoon Network characters. I'm going to do comic book characters and things like that. So one day I went out and I bought a bunch of bottle caps. And I just sat down at our dining room table and started painting. And realized, oh, I can actually paint on these really small things. And it really relaxes me. It calms me down and lets me focus and stuff. So, it was...
Your dad just said it was a surprise to us all.
It was. It totally was. Because I'll be honest, there for a while, my art was, interesting. I'm still, I don't consider myself an artist, because I don't do my own characters or things, and I have a hard time doing my own creation of a character. I actually did my very first one the other day. I got an iPad, and specifically for the reason to do digital art. And I did Jester, and she's my very first one that I actually did from I didn't have any
frame of reference.
I didn't have any reference for it. I just sat down, started drawing on it, and just to see what kind of came of it. And she's actually the first one that I was actually proud of, because I am very what's the word? I'm very hard on myself.
Self-critical.
I am very self-critical. Because I want things to be, when it comes to stuff like this, I am the epitome of a perfectionist.
So,
also, hair is my bane of my existence. What?
What we can do is, while you do this, I will show some of the things that you've done.
Okay.
So, she talked about how she likes to do small little trinkets, and I'm gonna show some of your earlier stuff. And I'm going to show some of your later stuff so you can see the growth that you've done, because I think that's something that it kind of gets lost, is how much you've grown as an artist. So, one of the early things she did, like she said, was painting bottle caps that she made into pins.
Oh, that was from my very first.
So this is very, very early, right?
Actually, no. This was the first Etsy show. I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. That is very early.
Okay. So,
actually, RBG bought some of these. Yeah. Not this one, but he bought some other ones that I'm going to redo for him.
This right here is a very early... So it's actually facing
that one, yeah, that's Finn. I painted him. He was my first set. I did the entire set of Adventure Time characters like this. I still really love them. But you can see there are bubbles in the pour and stuff like this. You can't see it on the camera, but there are bubbles in the pour.
So she did she started by doing stuff like this. And one of her more recent pieces, and I'm literally just grabbing things out at random.
Not that one.
You know what?
Don't pick that one. I'm not proud of that one.
I
You know that I'm not proud of that one.
I want to show it
Because I fought with you on that one.
I understand, but I really like this one.
All right,
so
fine.
I want to show it.
All right, fine.
And now she can do things like this. Yes, exactly. Thank you. But she's discovered that she's done a couple of Etsy fairs, and what she's discovered is where she started with bottle caps, that there's a lot of like pendants have done really well for her.
Yeah. I've also discovered like I'm probably not going to do the Etsy fair that I usually do. Because I actually don't, for as many people that come to these things, it was really disheartening to see, like, sit there and look around and see the people around me selling out of everything because they were all doing, like, wooden signs or kids' clothing or, you know, stuff like that. And I have,
bows.
like, bows and stuff, and I'm sitting here with, like, a table full of stuff that I poured my heart into, and nobody knows who these characters are. So I realized, I'm like, okay, so I need to stop doing the Etsy fair here because people don't come here for this kind of stuff. So I'm looking at maybe doing a con here and there, but that is going to take a very, very long process of getting stuff done. And yeah,
So here are a couple of bracelets that she made. So this one here, these are
rhododendrons. That's the
rhododendrons,
state
which is
flower,
the state flower of
West Virginia.
Obviously, this right here is a Hogwarts Express.
The train.
And she even painted a little hobbit hole.
I love the hobbit hole. I will say I do.
Like I see, that's the problem. Is like I'm gonna put try to get up closer without it getting blurry, but there's so much tiny detail to these things. It's insane.
So we have her hair going all the way that way. I don't need to do any of the lines and stuff. Alright, so we have her basic outline. Oh. You can kind of see it. It's hard to see on here because it's, you know, pencil.
And you also did it lightly.
And I also did it lightly so I don't have to worry about like really covering it up. I have a few spaces that's honestly too dark. But it's fine. Which one is this? Is this Happy or is it...
This is Happy.
This is Happy. I love this station. I love the music.
But if you guys are enjoying having music in the background, we'll probably start doing this for our normal streams too. Just so we have something going on for you guys while we're playing. Because sometimes we do get a little quiet. This is actually one of my favorites because it's a little bit abstract.
Ooh, yeah, that one. I actually really like that one too. That one was from this most recent one, I think.
No, it's from 2 ago.
Is that from the first one?
Uh-huh, yeah. You didn't get paid. It didn't go out, sorry. Obviously, it's still here.
Because it's still here. I wish that I had a picture of... I may have Clay drop a picture of the...
You told him to and he didn't do it.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't he? I need to have him do it. Don't show the Ariel. I really love on that. The Elsa is. Meh. Okay. So now I'm gonna start mixing colors here for her skin. I think is what I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna do her hair last. I need to figure out is her. I'm not doing hands. That's absolutely not happening, you all.
Do you want paper to shove down inside that, or?
It's fine. I don't put paper because I suck at hands. So she's just gonna go down like this. Her hand is not gonna go up here because no.
Because why?
Because why? Reasons. We need her.
Here is another Ariel that she has done.
actually think the person that I am making these for is actually in here.
Talking Dog wants to know if you have ever done a coin or something that has like Captain Shield on it.
I have done a necklace that I don't think it's in here. I think I wore it the other day actually. But it is...
With your new haircut, it probably doesn't work, but she does have barrettes of Iron Man and...
I do have barrettes. But I have done Cap's Shield before. It is... Okay, so Cap's Shield and Wonder Woman, their like logos and stuff, like terrible.
This is one of my favorite things, and this group will appreciate this more than any one of these freaking Etsy bears will.
Oh yeah. Like
so she made a little book. Make sure I do it this way. She made a little book.
This. There we go. That's right. I've also noticed that.
So it's actually a
like,
little.
The lockets don't do very well because people want to have it out on the front. To remind you of the Vikings. There we go. There we go. Alright, that is how her body needs to go. Alright. Cool. Alright, now I'm going to start.
I personally love the lockets because you get the...
I will say that's one of the early ones, and it's still one of my favorites. I'm so upset that thing hasn't sold.
Harley and Mr. J.
Even though that I know that Harley and Mr. J's relationship is toxic at best. Kids, if you say that you put Harley Quinn and Mr. J as relationship goals, you need to be smacked. Just like if you say Romeo and Juliet are relationship goals, you need to be smacked.
This song is called Canvas. But yeah, this program is called Pretzel Rocks. It's something that we found through Streamlabs. It's like a $5 a month, like, what's it called? Subscription thing, but we feel like it's going to be worth it to give you guys some music in the background and make it less quiet.
You yelled at me when I opened it up.
Now, which one is the Prussian blue and the burnt sienna?
You're hilarious.
What are the other colors he always uses?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched a Bob Ross episode. So for those of you who do want to paint, white, pink, light pink, and like a light brown is the best way to get like Disney princess skin.
Gomez and Morticia are relationship goals.
Gomez and Morticia are relationship goals. 1000%. They're also parental goals. This is always the scariest part. Because once you start, that's it. Can't go back. No turning back.
And I will say this because Megan won't necessarily. If there is everything you guys do like, she's going to be updating her Etsy store, but it hasn't been updated just yet. Also, she does do custom pieces as well. Now, understand that Megan is extremely busy right now with streaming 3 days a week, us doing hot plates for every video.
I don't have time for my own life.
She has very little time right now, but if you do order something and you're patient, you don't need it right away, reach out to her. Prices are extremely reasonable for the amount of time and energy she puts into things. Like the shoes that she's painting, these would easily she usually would charge about $50 for a pair of shoes, if you guys provide the shoes, or she can get them for maybe like another $10 if you just want like basic, cheap, like the Keds that she's painting.
These are from Walmart. They were like $5.
But yeah, so like I said, it's pretty cheap. She does have a lot of stuff that we do want to put up on the Etsy store for her. It's just we haven't. Again, time is just not a friend of ours right now.
Show the
Oh, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, those, because I really like those. I was really proud of that concept.
So something new that she started doing that I really like is she made these very tiny pendants that I don't know if you guys can see the detail work on these, but they are the different.
They're the star signs.
The astrological signs.
Yeah.
The zodiac signs. That's what it
They're the zodiac signs.
But they actually have like an iridescent like galaxy behind them.
Honestly, when it comes to my pricing, it depends on how many characters you're wanting. So like the ones I'm doing here, where I'm doing like a single character or two on each one, would be, $50. But if you're wanting like a character on each one of the things, that's obviously going to be a little bit more expensive, like the ones I showed earlier. You're looking probably, what, 150, 175?
If you want, like the ones that she first ones she showed that she painted for herself, that like had like the whole thing is painted all colors and there's like 10 characters on them. I understand that it takes her a couple hours to do each one of those characters, and I know we have a lot of artists out there, but obviously, when you're buying art, you're not just buying the physical thing that you're ending up with. You also have the time and energy and the artistry that's going into it, and you have to take that into account for the.
People forget that.
You got to take that into account for the cost.
At craft shows and stuff, so many people sit there and say, "Oh, well, I could do that. Why would I pay that much money for it?" But
hello, Gibson Cubes. Derek Drools, Gibby rules. I could not agree more. Gibson, you are easily my favorite person because of how much shit you give Derek.
It's amazing. So many people walk up and say, "Oh, I could do that. Why would I pay that much money for it?" But the question isn't, can you? It's will you. Number
That's
one.
true.
So many times we're like, "Oh, I could do that," but you never do it. You never do it. And I'm always willing to pay a little bit more money for a local artist's stuff.
I'm actually going to adjust. I'm going to adjust the lighting on the camera just a little bit because it's showing up much lighter up here than it actually is on the shoe.
It is a little darker on the shoe.
So I'm going to try to adjust the
lighting. To be honest, that's actually a better color.
What? I think that's color. Because you want it to show up.
Yeah, I always forget whenever I'm doing colors and stuff that it's going to show up just a tear darker than what it's going to be on the...
So I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to try to lower the gain on the camera just a little bit to see if we can't make it so you guys can see the coloring just a little bit better. And if it gets too dark, I'll just change it back.
Also, FYI, sometimes I do pencil drawings and then I start doing the painting and I realize, oh, that's not right. So I just fix it as I'm painting like I just did because I realized I took the arm, the elbow, or the shoulder way too far out.
Is that better for you guys, or do you guys want me to change it back to the slightly lighter? Curmudgeon, funny story is, I used to want to be, back when they used to do, like, I know they still do them, but like late night infomercials like 2 o'clock in the morning, I didn't want to be the guy pitching the product. I wanted to be that secondary person who was always excited about it. Like, wait, I can get this for how much? No, I should be paying at least this much. You're saying if I order right now, it's only 3 easy payments of $333.33? That's insane. Wait, there's more?
So, Curmudgeon can 1000% attest to this. When I was younger, there was one specific infomercial that I would make them sit down and watch every time. And it was like a paint stripping commercial. infomercial for stuff that you put on cabinets to peel off the paint from cabinets. And I don't know why, but I found it so satisfying when I was younger that I would make them sit and watch this infomercial over and over and over again if it was on.
One of the highlights of my life. Many of you guys know that I lived in New York City for about 5 years, and I had the privilege of working on Broadway, doing merchandise. And I got to meet many, many famous people. And because I truly am a fan of those infomercials and like the pitchmen and all this kind of stuff, like I've always loved them. One of the highlights of things that I got to do while I lived there and worked there was I got to sell something to Billy Mays before he died. And if anyone doesn't know who Billy Mays is, he was like the pitchman. He was probably most famous for his OxyClean ads.
If you don't know who Billy Mays is,
look him up.
She's too young for you, bro.
Yeah. But I actually got to sell something to Billy Mays before he died. And I wish I would have gone, but wait, there's more, and I didn't. It is probably the biggest regret of my life.
The biggest regret of your life is not saying, but wait, there's more to Billy Mays.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Of all the stupid crap I've done in my life.
That's your biggest regret. Alright, so here we go, starting to...
Oh.
It's begun. I'm not the only one that does this though. I've met several artists who choose to mix on their hand, especially when it's such a small. Like I don't need this color for very much, so
Hey, Tiger Planet.
I would just be wasting paint.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to do that because he was with his family and he actually bought a Ariel doll for his daughter because I was actually working at the Little Mermaid at the time.
Gotta get that contour on, right?
Yeah, of course. Because, you know, mascara like that would stay on. That
totally stay on. Under the sea. Also, no one's hair looks like this underwater. I'm just saying.
She's magical.
Yeah, it's true. She is magical. Alright, so there's her outline and stuff. Now, what do I want to do? Do I want to just go ahead and start her eyes and stuff? Yeah. Okay. I 1000% almost put my brush in your...
Do not put your brush in my lemonade.
Well, hi, Target Planet. Thank you. QRB, maybe? I don't know. I'm not even paying attention to the chat right now. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. If I take a break during this, which I may, like, run away for a hot second, I'll look it up. It might be. But I just specifically remember it being a paint remover, but it was specifically for cabinetry. That's what they always used it on. And he says we watched it every time it was on. I made them watch it. I was also really bad when I was little with Beauty and the Beast specifically. And we would be watching it, and then I would leave. And I would go into my bedroom to play and just have it like playing. My parents would stop it, and I'd come back out. This was before I could even talk. I would come back out and point at the TV and go, until they turned it back on, and then I would sit and watch it for a minute, and then I'd leave. So my poor parents had Beauty and the Beast memorized by the time. Like, it was bad. Okay, what am I doing? I said I was going to start her eyes. Alright. What is that? Little Nemo. Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. The movie that I forgot existed until I saw it on like a BuzzFeed or Nerdist thing that I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember this movie, and then found it on YouTube, watched it, and was like, this movie is terrifying. Why did I like this movie when I was little?
Also, I don't know if you guys have seen these, but this is how small the brushes are that Megan is using. Like,
they're all detail brushes. I feel like I've lost some of them. No, I was using this one. I was looking for a smaller one. Maybe this one. The problem is that this one's got such a blunt edge. I may be better just doing the whole thing with this until I get to them.
You one have pretty fine edges.
The problem is that those are really hard for me to control because they're so long.
The bristles kind of.
Yeah, because those are actually specifically for lining and for like
Gotcha.
Script and stuff.
I'm not art. I don't know.
I know I did, and I don't know why. It was terrifying. If you don't know what that movie is, look it up. Apparently, it frightened many children. It was one of those movies that like scarred people, but it was like one of my favorites for some reason. Okay. Ooh, buddy. Eyes are no fun. So eyes almost never look right until you get
Everything done on them.
Everything done on them. It's the hardest thing for me because the shapes, it just never looks right until you get them outlined. They always kind of look a little derpy.
If anybody's new out there, this channel is Board Game House. We normally stream board games 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today we are doing a kind of little extra bonus stream that we like to do every once in a while, where we do something other than play board games. We've done Twitch Sings before, where Meg and I have done like karaoke style stream. Right now Megan is painting some shoes for her sister-in-law for her senior trip.
Somehow I'm always involved in it.
It's because the community loves you the most.
The bonus streams.
It's because the community loves you the most, and
I love the community.
Derek is a stick in the mud.
That's true. I'm pretty sure Derek is downstairs getting ready for Game of Thrones.
It's like in 4 hours.
Yeah, no, he like woke up this morning and was like, "Oh my God, it's Game of Thrones day!" I'm not exaggerating.
What is he doing? Drinking out of like that horn drink?
Perhaps.
Scooby-Doo scared the crap out of you?
Scooby-Doo did scare the crap out of me. Gave me nightmares. It was one of the only things that gave me nightmares. It didn't scare me like in the moment, like when I was watching it, but for whatever reason, I always had nightmares afterwards. Also, fun facts. My parents learned the hard way that I can't have generic Dimetapp because they gave me generic Dimetapp one day and I woke up hallucinating and didn't know who they were. At the time I had Little Mermaid sheets and Sebastian had come off of the pillowcase and was attacking me. Because that's all that I really remember is Sebastian coming off of the pillowcase and attacking me, or coming off of the sheets and attacking me. You can ask them. It was a terrifying experience for them, apparently. Alright, so I think I have the basic outline of the eyes done. I'm not really sure. Like I said, the eyes are so hard for me because eyes just don't look right until they have the irises and stuff in them. And they're outlined. They just... They just can't. Also, curmudgeon, you have the red meeple in your house, which means you've been subscribed for 6 months.
He's been supporting you for a lot longer than 6 months.
I know. It's true. It's true. Alright, I don't think I actually need... I think I can use this color. Maybe a little bit more blue? Maybe this blue? Let's try that. We're gonna try that. It's a little dollop.
Did I show this one?
No, you did not. You did not show Kua and Hey Hey. I actually wanted to keep that one.
Hey Gibson, I think your daughter might like this one.
That's a rough thing too, is that 90% of the time when it comes to my character stuff, little kids want them. And nobody wants to buy jewelry for little kids.
No.
But they're always the one. The ones that come up. The last Etsy fair that I had, thank God that I love kids, because the last one that I went to, this little girl came up with her sister, and they were, gosh, like maybe 7 and like 4, something like that. But number one, they both had Starbucks Frappuccinos in hand. Which, number one, this was at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm like, lady, you just gave your kids milkshakes at 10:30 in the morning, number one, because that's all Frappuccinos really are, because it was the vanilla bean ones. And they came over and they sat their drinks down on my table and just opened and closed all of the lockets.
No, they closed them all.
Oh yeah, they closed them all.
Because they were already open.
Because they couldn't open them back up because they were too sticky for them to open them back up, but they just closed them all. And then I would open them back up, and they'd come back and close them again. And at this point, I want to point out that the mom wasn't even at my booth. she was at somebody else's booth at this point. I also weirdly go really fast whenever I paint. That's true, they are not called unlockets.
Alright, so I picked out a few more of my favorites of Megan's stuff. Because she's busy, she can't stop me from showing off her shit.
It's true, I can't knock things out of his hand like I usually do. I will say, between him and Derek, they sell me, when we're at like the Etsy fairs, they sell me like nobody's business. Them and my mother-in-law. If she is there, she points out stuff to them every time. It's hilarious.
Megan almost lost her crap when I almost sold a $250 painting for her.
Which one was that?
The Hogwarts.
Oh, the Hogwarts one? Yeah.
And if they first could have taken it today, they probably would have.
They actually probably would have. I should have probably sold it. But that one holds a special place in my heart because it was the first time I did a full-size canvas. And I did that in my bedroom when I was rooming with Aaron for the few months that I was working in Grafton for the courthouse. At the courthouse. Where all I did was scan stuff, and it was a terrible job, but it paid well.
So, this one may be a little bit hard to see what it is. Can anybody tell me what this is?
Can anybody tell me what this is? Memories are good, but have you tried money?
I'm gonna give people just a few minutes. I'm gonna give people a few
We're way
seconds
ahead.
too.
We're way ahead. I'm noticing that we're way ahead of the chat.
Yeah.
Today for some reason.
Does anybody recognize this? Well, yeah, I'm talking about the actual what's inside of the painting. It's a little hard to see on this, so. It is a Disney. I'll give a clue. It's a Disney thing.
Disney thing. It's a little.
This one's a little obscure.
Yeah.
This is actually the Neverland Island from Peter Pan. Rainbow Frog. Yeah, no. The rest of these should be a little bit easier. This is probably my
Felix got it.
Oh, did he?
Neverland? Well, and Derek got it, but Derek, that doesn't count because you were in the room when I was painting it.
Okay, is Derek? Derek's not in the chat, is he? Oh, yeah.
He just popped in.
This is probably one of my favorite things that she's ever painted. Now, everyone knows we're from West Virginia. And there's a very famous bridge in West Virginia that goes over the New River Gorge. And this is actually a painting of that. Just the amount of detail.
Those sold pretty well.
Yeah.
Which didn't surprise me.
Just the blending and the sky and everything that she did with this. It's I like this one because it has a little bit of glitter and stuff in it.
Glitter. That was for my very first one. When I did it at Rudy's.
Mm-hmm. Cinderella's glass slipper.
I can move on. Because I think that's as much I can do with the eyes right now.
Before you start getting the black stuff.
Before starting getting the black stuff. And it's... being a little bit of a... she looks so derpy right now. It's fine. It's fine. I do love Groot. That's another one that I'm surprised didn't sell. It's over here.
And this one is the best version of the cartoon, Fight Me.
Did you even watch it?
This one, not the other one.
You did watch?
A little bit. Not regularly, but when it was on, I'd watch it.
That surprises me, I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks, Felix. It's a new thing that we're trying. We're trying to probably integrate it into our regular streams too. Just so there's a little bit something going on in the background too to kind of keep the energy up.
I like the Teen Titans. One of the very first cosplays I did was, I did Marceline was actually my very first cosplay. And then Raven was my second.
Now this one, I really like it because it is a very ingenious original that Megan did.
That's wrong. That's the wrong nose shape.
She actually used the different houses.
This one. Yeah, the different houses. I capitalized the letters of the different houses. That one also kind of blows my mind that I still have it. Because it's one of my favorites.
Yes, Steampunk Belle is her crown jewel of
That is my
cosplay.
crown jewel of cosplay at the moment.
For now.
I have some other ideas up my sleeves.
You're not wearing sleeves, because sleeves are bullshit. And I think this is probably one of Megan's favorites as well.
Sorry, I'm looking for a different smaller brush. Oh yeah, that one actually.
And unfortunately, the camera does not pick up the detail on some of these things.
I love steampunk. Steampunk is one of my favorite things. It is really warm back here.
You turn the AC on?
Yeah. Because, like,
You're dying?
I'm dying. If I'm dying...
Okay, you go do that.
Oh no, you're leaving me alone.
I am. Guys, I'm leaving her alone for just a couple of minutes. Do not kill her. Be nice.
Please don't overwhelm me.
Do not write in the chat.
Oh my gosh, please do that. That's hilarious. They do. People do tend to lean toward one house. Speaking of, what are your houses? If you know what they are. And I'm only accepting ones if you've done the quiz on Pottermore. Oh, because I'm going the wrong way, that's why. Okay. And then it comes out. Gotcha. Still not right. Still not right. I still can't get it right. It's okay. You all are hilarious. I'll start. When I took it both times when they updated it, and the second time I got Gryffindor. So the only problem is, and the only issue that I have is when you say, "Oh, I'm a Gryffindor." People are like, "Oh, you just picked Gryffindor because that's where Harry Potter was and Hermione and Ron were from." I'm like, "No, I actually did it. I'm actually a Gryffindor," which is really weird because I thought I was gonna get Hufflepuff, but I didn't. Hufflepuffs. Yes, I'll do a parrot for Kerrigan. Yes, absolutely. Let me know because I wanted to do a letter for Kerrigan too. I just need to know what characters. I was actually talking to Derek about that one day. Or a bow. I've done bows too. But I think the bow would be too big for her. I know you're Slytherin. I'm still shocked that Derek is not a Slytherin. I thought for sure he was going to get Slytherin, but he's a Ravenclaw. I have, but even the bows that I usually do would be too big for a wee one. A tiny human. Okay. I think that's right. No, it's still too downturned. Alright, so here's the thing, is that I will redo a specific section of something 18,000 times, and currently that's going to be the nose, because noses are hard. So always takes me a minute to get the shape of things. Like I'm looking it's more, her nose is more upturned. It's not downturned, which is what I was doing. So, goes up like that. It's a little better. Still not quite right. So I'm gonna cover this up and I'm gonna let it dry. Okay. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna outline. I'm gonna do her mouth while that's drying. Sure. I can do that. I can do mini. Whatever, just let me know. Like I said, I know you all know that I'm stupid busy. But we haven't said this since the beginning of the stream. If you're new to the stream, we are Board Game House. Well, I am 1/3 of Board Game House. Usually I have Steven and Derek with me, but today I did a poll in the Discord, and they wanted, I asked them between Twitch scenes and a creative stream, and they voted for a creative stream because I guess they wanted to see me paint. And I had some things I needed to paint anyway. So here we are. Usually we play board games Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays we play regular board games. Last Friday of the month we will play Jackbox. Wednesdays we play our homebrew D&D game, 3 Sheets to the Wind, which is this Wednesday, and then we will alternate between that and Legacy games. And we just finished up our playthrough of The Trail Legacy. Huh? No. We just finished up our playthrough of The Trail Legacy, and now we are getting ready to start Gloomhaven, which is our first sponsored stream. Well, our second sponsored stream, technically, from kickstartedgames.com, which we're super excited about. Alright, so. Yeah, it feels really good outside. Oh, she looks so silly right now. There it is. Yay, AC.
What'd I miss?
Ooh. Not that much. I was just giving people the rundown if they're new here. But if you are new here and you like what you're seeing, we're only 10 followers away from our goal of 350 followers by the end of April.
We missed this? Did this not pop up?
That did not pop up.
Why do you not pop up?
We had a new follower. Holy crap. Slick Vixen 93.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. Sorry, we totally missed your... We totally missed it. So we're at 341 now. We did get music, Lancelot. Also, welcome.
Wait, Lance, it's probably like not even midnight for you yet.
I know.
We have somewhat normal people time for you right now.
But you're technically Monday now, aren't you? Or would you be my... Wait, I don't know how time zones work.
Don't try. Otherwise, we another clip like you did for Derek.
It's 8 p.m. Okay. I mean, I know how... I'm going to rephrase this. I know how time zones work. I just don't know, like, physically where people's things are. But yay! I'm glad that you get to watch us at a, normal human time. Instead of 4 o'clock in the morning where you usually are. Hmm?
Yeah. So anybody that doesn't know, Megan is painting shoes for her sister-in-law for her senior trip. She is dizzy bounding as Ariel. So
Thanks, Lance!
her sister-in-law is going to be dizzy bounding as Ariel at Disney. So Megan is just starting the process.
Getting her face done.
Yeah.
Which will not look right until I start outlining it, because right now she looks crazy. And I always forget that that's a thing until I start doing it.
You're like, no, I know I can paint
Like,
better
no,
than
I
this.
know that I can do this, and then you remember, oh wait, no, it's not going to look right until I start outlining things. So. Also, can we just make it a thing that, like, nobody has teeth? Like, their mouths, like, never show teeth. Rusty.
Yeah, this is actually the first time we're streaming art, Lance. Like I said, we're always going to be streaming board games on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but we do want to kind of have the ability to kind of show off some other things that we like to do. So, like Megan enjoys painting, so we're going to do some art streams. We've done Twitch Sings before, where Megan and I kind of did a little bit of karaoke, more or less, through a program that Twitch offers. So we have that as well.
Which was super fun.
At some point, we'll probably do another one of those. And also, we're going to eventually get a video capture card so we can have Megan and Derek play like Overwatch or something on stream as well.
While Steven lurks in the background.
I'll lurk in the background like I am this time.
Or we'll force him to play and you guys can see how terrible he is.
I am really bad. And
amazing.
that's fine if you guys want to laugh at me.
Alright, let me do this. Look how silly she looks.
Right now.
I promise she'll get better.
So we'll always have our normal schedule, but these little pop-up streams on the weekends or on an off day, we may start doing more often if you guys are enjoying them, just to give a little more content. And because, like I said, we love board games, trust me, but we all have other hobbies and things that we do enjoy as well. You'll carry me in Overwatch? Well, I appreciate it, Gibson.
Derek and I were playing the other day.
I mean, once we have the video capture card, I may play Minecraft for you guys because that's something I can play.
We were playing the other day, and I guess the person thought I was not doing well, and messaged Derek and was like, have them switch before we lose or something like that. We ended up winning, and he was like, ha ha ha, have fun carrying. I'm like, dude, I got silver and gold in like 3 things. Go away. But I'm a Tracer main, so that comes with the territory. Still not right. I'm really struggling with your nose.
Put it down a little bit more.
Well, I had it down earlier. This is the third time I've blinked this out, and so we'll just wait for that to dry again.
Start the hair.
I'm not ready to start the hair yet. I also kind of cheek, so I'll do like this and get that, and then I'll go back in with the skin color and cover up
What you don't want.
what I don't want,
It's not cheating. Painting.
because the nature of the shoes, like the material of the shoes, is canvas, but it's a very bumpy canvas.
Lance, we've never done a full unboxing on YouTube, but what we've started doing is when we do our Jackbox stream the last Friday of the month, we will unbox a new game then, and then play it shortly thereafter. It is kind of what we're going to start doing. Now, there's going to be some games we just don't have time to do that with, because, you know, when you stream 3 days a week, you go through quite a few board games.
Yeah. We unboxed Galaxy Trucker not too long ago, but I ran out of time getting me how to play together. Fix that with her hair. I lost her chin. Her chin is gone. But part of that part I can actually fix when I start the hair, because I can bring it in right here. That's where it needs to come in at, just a little bit.
They play Overwatch on Xbox One.
Yes. We are an Xbox couple. Oh no, what do you play on?
Probably PS4.
You know, I've considered, if it wasn't for the fact that I would have to pay for like multiple things. You play PC?
PC Master Race.
I don't have a PC to play games on, or I would get one for PC so I could do stuff like that.
If they ever come out with a Diablo 4, I will play the shit out of that for you guys. I love Diablo. But I don't know if we're ever going to get a Diablo 4. Granted, we waited 15 years for Diablo 3, so...
It's about how long I waited for
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. Which I still haven't gotten to finish.
What you working on now?
I'm gonna work on her eyes a little bit more. I'm gonna do some
Lighting or shading.
shading. Let's do a little bit of shading. Give her some lids. That'll help with making her a little less,
Thanks, Miss Valley. Have fun. Don't let Bray die.
Yeah, have fun. Stay bright.
Anyone's playing D&D, if you let Rachel die, I'm banning you all.
Banning you all. Alright, and now I'm gonna try and get this stupid nose right again. Alright.
You're putting in people's for her eye.
No, it goes right here, look. Maybe that's why I'm not doing it like that. needs to come here. Ah ha 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 ha. Figured it out. The nose is going away completely. Bye-bye, nose. Figured it out. Okay. I feel better now. So I'll wait for that to dry. While I wait for that to dry,
See some hair?
I'm gonna do some hair.
Hope you guys are having a lovely weekend.
The weekend's too short.
So if everyone in here told 20 of their friends to follow the channel and watch constantly, our weekend we can constantly be streaming for you guys.
Bigger brush. The hair is literally why I got that big old brush out.
That one?
Yeah, so I could do a big old base coat. There we go.
I mean, that is actually extremely good, especially for an art stream. I mean, it surprises me, but it doesn't, because the neighborhood is freaking amazing, and everyone in it is so supportive of anything we've said or tried.
No, it's like, crazy. Like, it's kind of mind blowing to me.
I could be like, "Hey guys, I'm thinking about killing my coworker. Do you think I should do it?" And he was like, "Go for it. You can do it, Steven." Granted, that coworker would probably be Derek, but that's beside the point.
That was an odd choice of.
Also stream it. Yeah, exactly.
That was an odd choice of stream content there.
There we go. See? What? Lancelot's got my back. He's like, we'll just put it as Hitman 2.
Oh, there we go.
God damn it, G. Can we call our mods the Neighborhood Watch?
Yes. Done. You have been dubbed the Neighborhood Watch. Because that's what you are. Mods, you are the watch. Granted, now all I'm thinking of is Dwight when he does the Neighborhood Watch, but
Keep it clean.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Conscience. You're like my personal Jiminy Cricket.
Yep.
I love this music channel.
Did she? I don't remember that. Well, Sonny, if G stole that from you,
She stole that from you.
then you deserve credit for your work.
If we stole that from you, please let us know, and we will credit you with that, because I forget things too much.
And you guys do so much for us, like, it's hard to keep track of everything that each one of you guys has done individually.
I didn't give myself enough. The neighborhood does mostly watch itself, I'll be honest. We had one troll come in, and honestly, the mods did exactly what they needed to do. But before they had the chance to do that, the neighborhood jumped on them.
The neighborhood's like, dude, chill.
Like, it was
Not
wonderful.
Cool. We're trying it out here because we feel like it's a good place to start, and we'll probably start integrating the music behind Spoiler Games as well. They have a bunch of different channels, so we'll try to see if we can't find ones that are kind of fit the mood a little bit.
I have been tasked with listening to it at work so I can like things.
Yeah, so we'll try to see if we can't find some stuff that
When you know I'm not listening to Critical Role.
So like if we're playing a creepy game, we don't necessarily want happy, upbeat music.
They have cinematic stuff.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can make playlists.
I'm sure we can.
So that's my next thing to look at.
So you guys are liking having music in the background? And the volume is good on this level?
I like it. I also just really like this channel. Like all of this stuff has just been like really
cool.
Really cool.
Awesome. They have stuff that have both words and not words. Words and not words. Lyrics and not lyrics. Or with and without lyrics.
With and without lyrics. Words and not words. Gen Con, Best Con.
It's actually called Pretzel Music, or Pretzel Rocks. They do also have an app for your phone and stuff that you could always do. It is a subscription service. I think it's like $4.99 a month. But if you guys are enjoying it, it's definitely worth it for us to get it. You just got snorted.
13 is less than I thought it would be at this point. I haven't snorted in a while.
No, Derek's kind of taking over the laugh.
The problem is that most of the time, yes, I will snort, but I'm a silent laugher. I'm that one that, like, physically moves but doesn't make any noise. That's fair. Fair.
I wish that they could have kept their composure the way I did.
Oh yeah, totally.
I am so cool, calm, and collected.
Totes.
Also, are you guys enjoying the new addition of a green screen to
It's super helpful for this.
make it so you guys have more viewing area? And if anybody's new out there, again, we're Board Game House. We stream 3 nights a week normally. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays playing board games. On Mondays and Fridays we play normal board games. On Wednesday we go back and forth between playing our D&D homebrew campaign of 3 Sheets to the Wind and a legacy game. We just finished up our Betrayal Legacy playthrough. We are getting ready to start playing Gloomhaven, which we're super excited about. This week is D&D, so definitely join us for that. But yeah, if you're enjoying the content, we are trying to get to 350 followers by the end of the month, and we are only 9 followers away, so we're super close. So think about hitting that heart, and then we're also going to do some extra streams like this one, where we play, where we're making paints, where we do Twitch Sings, play some video games or something with you guys. On the last Friday of the month, we do play a community game where we play Jackbox with our community, which is, our community is super awesome. They're called the Neighborhood. We do have a Discord you can jump into. We're always in there talking, having fun. Everyone's super nice, super supportive. So yeah, think about joining us.
Join us.
Alright, see you, Tiger Planet.
Hi, Tiger Planet. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Art House, or as G said before, it's Board Game House Painting.
Yep.
The Discord is super active. Almost too active at times. If you fall asleep, you'll wake up to way too many messages. So just don't ever sleep.
If you walk away for 2 seconds, you'll come back to like 100 messages.
We have all kinds of fun things though, where we post cute pictures of animals in there. We have a channel for food. A bunch of us are getting super excited to go to Gen Con, which is just over 100 days away.
Gen Con, best con. I know she's looking a little like crazy right now. I promise.
I absolutely like this pin. Sorry, I'm just writing more of your stuff.
Oh, this is the honey pot. I love Winnie the Pooh.
Little honey pot from Winnie the Pooh.
That's scary.
So you're gonna have the top of the shelves on there? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Right now she's, you know, a little indecent, but which is disturbing considering she's, you know, 16. But
So at what point in everyone's lives did they start to side with King Triton, over Ariel?
That's the moment that you realize you've hit adulthood.
That's the benchmark for adulthood. When you start to side with the parents versus the Disney kids. It's like, I'm not a child anymore.
You are still a child. Sit down.
You are 16.
Stop it. You are going to ruin your life.
Disney, teaching great lessons. You really love a boy that doesn't know you exist or doesn't like you? Change everything about yourself.
Basically. Still don't love the movies any less, though.
Oh, there's a lot of villains points that make sense in these movies.
My personal favorite, Hades.
Because let's face it,
I love that he's a man.
Ursula didn't do anything
Wonderful.
wrong. Ariel just doesn't know how to read a contract.
Tiger just won the Masters?
Really?
Comeback. For me, it was Eeyore versus everyone else in the 100 Acre Wood.
Tiger? Wow. Congrats, Tiger. People thought you were never going to make another run at a master or a major.
Masters?
Well, the Masters is one of the majors in golf.
I don't understand golf.
I do.
Golf and baseball. Not my thing.
Oh, I didn't know this one.
Oh!
So, Tiger Woods, if you're watching, congratulations.
Tiger Woods, if you're watching, considering the fact that you just won the Masters.
Hey, he could have jumped in the stream at the very end. You don't know.
Alright, and this bit I added myself because it didn't go far enough. Around the shoe. I want it.
It's times like that. It's like, oh yeah, he's not from around here.
Yep.
It's all right. Don't feel bad, Lancelot. We barely have baseball here anymore.
It's true.
I don't understand how baseball still is a major sport because the stands are always empty. Mostly always empty for most stadiums. There are other countries that play baseball. Japan's pretty big into baseball. Canada and Mexico are also have some baseball.
Honestly, I feel like more countries actually play softball,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting to me. Am I still on the
Yeah,
screen?
up.
Oh, thank you. This is a little bit too much right here. It's too much of a swoop. Swoop here. The problem is with most of the Disney princesses, their hair is so like iconic that you can't mess it up.
Guys, we're starting to get an aerial.
Starting.
You have exactly 2 hours to finish. Go. No.
My goal is to get her done on the string.
Shadows.
Coloration is something that I learned that I'm weirdly good at.
Jesus Christ, G. Why? Why are you so good at them?
Why are you like this?
Why are you like this and why does it make me want to love you more?
my face is usually like down here. You all can't see my concentration face.
There you go.
Yeah, but then you gotta move it when I come back up.
I'm doing nothing else right now, so it's fine.
Maybe I was okay with them not seeing my concentration face.
There you go. You said he watches a lot of art streams, and almost none of them produce art this quickly. So.
Thank you. It is a weird thing. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm impatient, but for whatever reason, you can leave it there because I'm getting ready to go back down. For whatever reason, I've always been kind of speedy with characters and stuff.
This whole channel is pretty good. Of music.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
The music channel, not Board Game House. We're not that good.
We're not that good.
I kid.
We still learning.
We learning, Chad. We learning.
Oh gosh. Polly has ruined you too.
Yes.
I work with honestly, I work with cheap acrylic paint. You know, like what you would use to do like arts and crafts or face paint, like the washable kind. So I have to work fast, otherwise it won't blend. I really need to get back to her face. It's really bothering me that she still looks
Fix her face.
wonky. It's getting into the hair. Fix your face.
Don't forget how you want the nose. You make sure it comes down.
Yeah, it's gotta come
side of
this
the eye.
way. It's gotta go like this. It's gotta turn in like that. Right, yeah. And then it's gonna come back out. It's gonna go like that.
She does treat them before she lets people wear them, and so they can take some gentle washing. I wouldn't necessarily power wash them or throw them through a washing machine, but you can wipe them off and clean them.
You can wipe it they've lasted through Disney Rain.
Oh, I don't think they were not there. Show them.
Oh, okay. So they've lasted. Here, I'll show these. So I have 2 pairs of shoes that have been worn to Disney on multiple occasions, water rides, a whole 9 yards. And you know they always do the Disney. You always have the rain in Orlando that comes out of nowhere. But these have held up. These particular ones have held up for 2 trips to Disney. Both were between 4 and 5 days. And I know on the second one I wore these every day. So they stay really well through park wear, which is the most
Pretty good test.
yeah, it's a pretty good test. I treat them Now, these are dirty, and I don't know if I were to take stuff to them,
Like soap and water.
like soap and water to them, what they would do. But I do spray them with a clear coat, so it is protected and ready to go. Like, I wouldn't like dip them in water necessarily, but I would think that maybe a light brushing or whatever with like a soft cloth or something would be
Cold water,
okay.
not hot water.
Yeah, definitely cold water. Keep doing. It's so close to being right. So close. Sometimes this happens. The fact that I haven't thrown the shoes yet is a big thing, so.
So you're close to where you want it?
It's close. It's getting there. All right, so let's do the fun part.
Eyes.
Yeah. Let's make these guys look. I do have an image sitting in front of me.
Yeah, she does. She uses points of reference when she's painting. I mean, that's still pretty solid time for it to hold up. I mean, if it lasted as long as the color the shoes did. Something?
I need food.
Do you want orange?
No.
I'll feel it for you.
Okay. Go pill for me.
Need some more water?
I actually haven't been drinking that much because I've been so concentrated, but yeah.
Love it. I guess I am Megan's personal assistant today.
He's my personal assistant today. So the hardest thing, like when doing this, is keeping the bristles at a point. Sorry, I'm gonna get quiet here. there. She's starting to look a little bit more correct. For her eyebrows. Thank you.
What'd I miss?
You missed absolutely nothing because I got real quiet because I was working on the
Eyes.
yeah.
No worries, Lancelot.
But I warned them that I was going to get really quiet.
If anyone's new out there, welcome.
Disembodied voice.
We are a board game house. Well, Megan is 1/3 of Board Game House. I'm Steven. I'm 1/3 of Board Game House as well. Derek is 1/3 of Board Game House. He is downstairs.
Muha7! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the neighborhood. Guys, we're only 8 followers away from our goal of 350 followers. It would be amazing to be able to up that goal before the end of April.
You guys,
I'm constantly blown away.
yes, you guys keep blowing our minds with your support and love and generosity. And supporting a couple of crazy people from West Virginia decided to say, hey, let's stream board games on the internet.
Yes, if you are new, we usually actually, stick to our name and stream board games. But today, I asked we wanted to do a pop-up stream. Thank you for the bits! We wanted to do a pop-up stream of some sort, and we decided, we asked the community what they wanted between this or Twitch Sings, and I had been showing some of my art off to them, and they decided that this is what they wanted to see. So here we are. Hi, Neon Froggy! Thanks, Diddy. Alright. Something is still not quite right with her face shape. I think I know what it is. I think I just need to come in a little closer right here. That was it. Sometimes it's always interesting to me when I do this kind of stuff. The smallest detail makes like a huge difference in things. But she's starting to come together. There she is. I'm still struggling with the nose. But I think I like where it is now. But I am gonna just start to drown and have to make some more. I'm gonna clean her up just a I think I cleaned up the wrong side. Dang it!
Welcome back, Mrs. Daly.
Daggone it.
Well, hi, Cabin Ray.
Hello, Cabin Ray. Hello, L. Dot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so are you all on your break from D&D? Is that what's happening?
I'm guessing that's what's happening.
Yes, okay. Well, welcome. I will gladly welcome you all.
Just in downtime.
RBG! I just talked about you earlier because you are a wonderful person and bought some things that I thought about also doing on stream at some point in time.
So yeah, all the stuff that I've been showing you is stuff that would be available on her Etsy store once she updates it.
Once I update it. I need you to be pointy.
A D&D raid. Thank you, Vinra.
I accept a D&D raid.
So those who've been playing D&D,
Has it been going well? No TPKs?
I made a very serious threat here on stream. You guys probably didn't hear it. I said if Rachel dies, I will ban you all. So take that into advisement. Hashtag save Ray. Were they actually bandits this time, or was it all in your head? Actual bandits this time, okay.
One day I'm gonna pop in and just listen. I 1000% forgot that you peeled me one. I'm just gonna pop in to listen.
I'm gonna pop into play. Just wait. A roguish, good-looking NPC is gonna just show up, but it's not gonna be an NPC. It's gonna be me.
Don't trust him. He'll take care of beloved NPC characters and ruin them for you.
Oh, I do not. I did that one time. One time. How many other NPC characters have I not done that to?
In our very first campaign, he made this NPC that we all loved. His name was Devin. And he was such a sweet little kid. And then one day, we had a guest DM, and he decided to play Devin as a playable character and turn him into a terrible person. It made me so mad.
Which is ironic because it was my NPC to begin with.
Also, I bounce around a lot when I paint. I didn't realize it until, I have a camera on me.
Well, I mean, you gotta go with what you're focused on or what you see that you're like, oh, I want to do this now.
Kind of. That's kind of how it goes. Oh, I just made her lip bigger, and that made such a big difference. In a good way. Good way.
I feel weird. I was gonna say, yeah, Ariel has really nice lips, but then I realized, oh wait, she's 16. I shouldn't say that.
She is 16. The only people you can say that about and not be creepy is Elsa, Anna, Belle, and Tiana.
I thought Belle was 17.
And no, Belle's 18. And Rapunzel. Because she's turning 18.
Gotcha. Thank you, Neon Froggy.
Yes, thank you. I saw that pop up, but yes, it's still creepy.
Listen, just because I'm a grandpa.
Everybody else is literally underage. Snow White's like 14.
That's true. How old's Aurora?
I think Aurora's... Wait. Aurora might be... No, it's her 16th birthday that she pricks her finger.
Yes, but then she's asleep for how long?
She's not in the actual fairy tale, she's asleep for a long time. In the movie, she's not asleep for that long. Because the entire kingdom falls asleep because of it as well in the movie. But Prince Philip is still alive and kicking and defeats her in like 2 days. Now in the actual fairy tale, it's like 100 years. But in the Disney movie, it's like 3 days. With Maleficent being my favorite villain, it's always funny though because honestly she sets a curse on this 16-year-old because her parents didn't invite her to a party.
Seems like a good enough reason.
I know that the movie Maleficent added more stuff into it, but
let that be a lesson to all of you. If you have a party, you better invite me, otherwise I'm going to curse your child.
Curse your child. But Maleficent is the HBIC and I love her. Oh, well, that's dry. Okay. I have to go wash my hands.
You can always take a break if you want.
No, I'm good. A little gray back here. A little shadow in her teeth, so it's not just white.
Just a happy little shadow.
Just a happy little shadow. I am going to add more depth to her eyes. Also, I like this nose. I successfully completed the nose.
Don't mess it up. Will you put her seashells on soon? Because
it's getting creepy?
Yeah. She's getting more and more lifelike, and then no seashells, and it's just making me feel uncomfortable.
Alright, I'll get the seashells on soon.
Drop's coming, the drop's coming.
This cheek is too big.
Here's another Alice in Wonderland locket.
Ugh, that one is one of my first ones. I was still living at home whenever I did that one. I gotta fix that cheek. That cheek is terrible. This one. Sometimes you don't realize it. It has to sit there for a little while before you realize, oh, okay, I need to fix that.
Oh, the too pointed up.
It's too big. It needs to come down.
Oh, so you can put shadow into.
Put shadow in to fix it. It needs to come down like that. That's a better face shape there. And this needs to come in just a little bit. I'm trying to narrate the changes that I make, or why I'm making them. There we go. Okay. See, small changes make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. I do think people can now start to recognize that it is Ariel.
Yeah, she's much less derpy. More creations! Oh, RBG!
RBG, thank you so much for that gifted
Thank
sub.
you for the gifted sub!
More creations.
More creations, welcome to the Homeowners Association. You now have 3 emotes.
So you can use them both here, and you can also use them over in Wormwood Stream because there's a lot of overlap in the two communities.
There is. There's a whole bunch of overlap in the two communities, and I love it. Alright, so just for you, Steven.
Just for me.
I'm going to start working on her seashells.
Thank you.
But I'm going to do one thing first, because this is one of my favorite parts. Because it's stupid how much this adds.
You want to hold up a little bit so you can see?
Those 2 little white dots. So hard to see. But those 2 little white dots add. Or are you gonna?
Give me a second.
Okay. Add so stinking much. I am self-taught. I don't have any like classic training or anything, but I kind of feel like art in general is very much you kind of learn as you go. You pick up tips and tricks from like in each painting or something that you do. You're like, oh, that's how that works, or okay, whoa.
Hold on.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
It's really hard to see. I'll pull her back on this side. But those 2 little dots in her eyes, like, really...
Vote in the Discord.
That makes more sense. But...
Here, I'll do that.
There's a photo getting dropped in the Discord.
I'll put it in the creative channel.
This is really like frenetic music, but it is... Thank you, Mrs. Valley. Thank you, Vinra. Alright. I'll start working on his seashells so Steven will stop feeling weird.
Okay, when they see this picture in Discord, they'll understand why I feel weird about this. In the Discord, iDragon says, "Ooh, that looks so awesome."
Aw. Thank you, iDragon. I got a little bit of water in this. When I was mixing, I think I got a little bit of water in it. But I'm not mad about it. There, Steven. She has her own shells now.
That makes me feel better.
You feel better?
What's a jelly Megan? I know you mean you're jealous.
Aw.
Gibson, do you want her to paint you a pair of Ariel shoes too? Is that what you're jealous of?
Serious though, this is art to me. Is something that with practice, just like singing or dancing or any of that, with practice you can do it. You just have to be willing to put in the time. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do something.
If they tell you you can't do something, talk to me. I'll punch you in the face.
Basically.
Yeah, if you're the one stopping yourself, I'll punch you in the face too. This is true. I'm sorry. I now feel like I need the disclaimer for me. We do not endorse punching in the face.
You sound so disappointed. Honestly, Steven needs the disclaimer more than Derek does at this point.
No.
You say so many things, though.
That is not true. Exactly.
Use our words, not our fists. That's the teacher coming out in her.
What are you mixing now?
I'm mixing up some more skin color.
Ah.
Because this is all dry now, except for like right there, and that's not enough to work with. So I'm going to do it like here, so I can match it.
As best as possible.
Yeah. But it's got to be just a shade lighter than what is here, because it dries darker.
Gotcha.
So like that, even though it doesn't match, will probably dry into the correct color.
Answer G's question.
Probably. You would think. You would think that would be a thing.
And do they lay eggs or do they have live birth?
Well, they're mammals. I would think live birth.
Are they mammals or are they fish?
They're mammals.
Are they?
Yeah.
Mermaids. Mammals or fish?
I feel like mermaids are definitely mammals because what describes a mammal is if they breastfeed or not. If they produce milk. And I feel like mermaids definitely do. Just like a dolphin or a...
But also...
Or not a dolphin, but like... You know what I mean.
But they breathe...
They definitely live birth.
They breathe underwater.
Mermals. But just because they breathe underwater doesn't... Because aren't...
Mammal...
Yeah, there are oceanic mammals.
Yeah, but mammals are not fish.
Yeah, but...
Eggs.
Whales aren't fish.
No, I didn't say
Neither. Well, that's the same thing to me. I would put mermaids in the same vein as like whales and dolphins and things
Manatees.
things that do the live births and stuff.
But they breathe underwater. Those other things don't.
That's true. That is a good point, but I still think that they live birth in the same way.
I almost view it like little seahorses.
Mm-hmm.
Board Game House, giving the important discussions.
Yeah, totally. I feel like I need to make this one bigger That one's smaller. So how am I gonna do that? She did frequent the surface. The rest of them didn't.
But then again, in the movie, Flounder could go up to the surface and speak too.
That's true, he didn't,
And he was straight up a fish.
Guppy. I know that he's not a guppy.
Are you seriously trying to figure out what kind of fish?
There is a type of fish that he has, I just don't know what it is. Or that he was modeled after.
What's his name?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Jesus!
Hush, leave me alone. I'm painting.
What kind of fish was Flounder?
Leave me alone, I'm painting. There we go.
Don't tell her that, G. I was trying to give her crap.
See, I didn't think so. Trying to make me feel silly.
Worked too.
It did work.
And would continue working when we for those blasted kids.
The blasted neighborhood watch.
Correcting me on my bullshit.
It says like that it's a certain type of tropical fish. I'm gonna look it up.
Interesting. So according to Google, he's not a flounder. He's just a tropical fish, but not a necessarily specific tropical fish.
I feel like he's... Huh. Interesting.
A little bit.
Okay.
You need to raise it up to here. Here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like what I was painting. I'm like, no, that's not what needs to happen. Also, what is in there? It's a piece of dry paint. I keep forgetting that I have oranges.
I need to peel it. I actually separate them out so you just, like quickly pop a piece in your mouth.
I appreciate it.
Because I'm awesome.
This needs to come like this. I know I keep making this seashell real tiny, but there's a reason. Like that. And then
Your mother was a mermaid. Actually,
was a mermaid?
That's not true, Curmudgeon. Your mother is a very lovely lady that I adore.
Yes, she is. Bring that up and over just a little bit. This. And over in front of her arm a little bit because perspective.
And that's what it does work.
It is.
I think the bottom of that one you're looking at kind of flat.
It's funky, yeah. It's because I just fixed it. Or I painted on it right there, so I've got to...
Oh, that was what you dried for you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I need to go and, like, flatten it out a little bit. Okay, so while that's drying...
Back to the hair?
Back to the hair, I think. Yeah.
I feel like Elnat's trying to give a trick question there.
Billy Bogota, welcome back!
You want to show Billy where you're at?
This is where I'm at, Billy.
There's also a picture in the Discord.
I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I feel like that's all we're really doing is just like hanging out. While I get something done that, you know, I need to get done. So it's like twofold. I love jellyfish. Jellyfish are like terrifyingly beautiful. Smoosh fish. Yes, I like that. Maybe I'll have Derek order something for us for dinner while I write the how to play that music
Like
film
Chinese?
tonight. Like Chinese. Even though I felt like crap afterwards last time.
That's not really Chinese.
Well, honestly, at this point, if I eat anything that isn't like super clean, my body's like, no, but I don't want to cook tonight, nor do I want to wash the dishes. I need to go back over some of this with regular red. Because it's, sorry, words are hard. You can see white peeking through.
I'd wish you're done with all everything else and then touch it up. Because you have so much like highlights that you have to do as well that it may fall into a highlight.
Might.
Yeah, I have a sink full of dishes right now. My apartment's kind of gone to shit because of streaming. Because of streaming.
Yeah. It's my life. Discord going crazy. Not that that is unusual at all. Where do I get that really glittery? I'll start outlining the hair too. It falls into this darker red, which is actually more of a brown, a red brown. Honestly, I feel like one of my favorite parts of doing this is the color matching. It's like a challenge. Oh!
Thank you. Do you look at those after
Thanks,
the
G.
stream?
Where am I looking? I'm looking down here. I really enjoy that Mrs. Valley is giving us a lesson right now. Alright. Guys, she's starting to come together and I'm real happy. Still just a little, just something off right here. So I'm gonna try and fix that.
how long the neck is, or how you have the neck?
I think it's partially the neck. There we go. I think I just did it. I need to go in and cut this right here to about there. So the shadow isn't quite in the right spot right now, and I think that's the problem.
Gotcha.
And I need to bring this shoulder up just a little bit. That'll help too. That's about as good as I can do with explaining where
Your artistic thought process?
my thought process.
Eat that last orange. For a split second, I thought that somebody was like knocking, like Dad was knocking on the door or something. But it's the music.
Just the music. Oh, I need to fix my hip right here.
Come on.
It's an easy fix. Because I don't have this little bump right here.
Ah.
I thought I did. There it is. Honestly, I really do love this music. And that goes up into the abyss. A little heavy-handed with the varnish color. Just a hair. Alright, there we go. Color anyway. But if you are new out there, I am 1/3 part of Board Game House. Usually Steven and Derek are on here with me. Steven's off to the side here, putting in random commentary and selling my abilities, I guess. But we usually stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we stream board games. Mondays and Fridays we do regular board games at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I guess Eastern Time, because somebody said it was EDT now, and I don't remember what the D stands for.
Daylight.
Eastern Daylight Time. And Wednesdays we alternate back and forth between our homebrew D&D game, which is this week, 3 Sheets to the Wind, and a legacy game. We just finished up our Betrayal Legacy playthrough,
Which was fantastic.
Fantastic, highly recommended. All of those VODs can be found on our YouTube.
YouTube.com/BoardGameHouse.
Also, all of our how to plays and all of our playthroughs of other games is on our YouTube channel as well. Oops. We are getting ready to start our Gloomhaven playthrough, which we're super excited about. That's our next one up. We're playing Raids tomorrow, which is a really fun game from Yellow Games.
Neon Froggy, that is a lot of big words right there.
Several words. Traffic protozoan photosynthesize. Haven noises. If you like what you're seeing, please consider hitting that follow button. All it does is let you know when we go live, and honestly, if you're doing it from your phone or something like that, it doesn't even do that anymore. But today we are painting because I needed to get these done for my sister-in-law, and the community wanted me to do it on the stream. So it's like twofold. It made me actually get started on it, which is something I have trouble getting myself to do sometimes. Because burnout is a really real thing, y'all. Check on your fellow artists and your artist friends. Make sure they're okay. Whether they be cosplayers or painters or jewelry makers, make sure they're okay.
But we'll probably do this some more. If you guys are enjoying this, and I mean, I'm not gonna put Megan on the spot, but if Megan's enjoying this and wants to do it again, we could probably do this again sometime.
Listen, this is making me work on something that I probably should have been working on for the last like 2 months. So I'm cool.
Bye, Megan's dad.
Bye, curmudgeon.
Have a good birthday tomorrow.
Speaking of his birthday, we threw axes yesterday and failed miserably.
Oh, I saw you post those
videos. Derek had it pretty much figured out and then lost it.
So much hair there. Interesting to see all the
So much hair.
details come together to give it definition and body and
Definition,
shape.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We hope that you all are having a wonderful weekend. Again, Sunday is not our normal day to stream, but you guys are still hanging out with us, and we appreciate it. This song's called Sparkles.
Excuse me, when my contact is deciding to
Be a jerk.
be a jerk. Huh. That is a really interesting fact. Alright, so there was one more thing I wanted to do before I really got started into her.
Do you want to finish her seashells?
I want to finish her seashells and then I'll get into her hair momentarily, but right now I want to fix her chin, which is a little wonky. So I'm just going to bring this up just a little bit. That's all I need to do. And this actually, I need to do some definition on her.
On her saddle.
Yeah, that'll help too. We'll do that. And then this also do it. Fan it out. And then fan this out. And then I'll go back in and get some skin color. Fan it out. And I'm gonna put some here.
Thank you for that fun fact, Billy.
Also, thank you all for like being super patient with me. With this being our first creative stream, it's very different from our usual board game streams because I do have to be a lot more focused so I don't, screw things up.
Does she have the strap on her side, or you have to?
She does. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
She's very light. Because it's a light purple, I'll probably darken it.
Gonna give her some under boob shading.
Yeah. Right now I'm hitting her back and her underarm there. But she does need under boob shading. Because that's a thing. They do that. To here. Hi, Alkali Metal.
She really does, Neon Froggy.
Thank you. That's something that I've really been working on. That's the thing I've been doing, trying to get a lot of practice with. And honestly, I think doing digital art is helping a lot because it's much more, it's a much faster way of getting the perspective because I don't have to actually mix colors. All I do is just pick the next thing on like the ring and do it. And I said maybe I'll put my Jester in there. Like I said, she's not perfect, but I'm really proud of her because she's my first one that I've truly done without any sort of reference other than what I had seen, before or whatever. And she does have just a teeny bit of bleach. Not a lot. Just a little. Because she is female, and that's a thing. Even if she is 16. Some of us were fully developed by 16, it's fine.
I know I was. No.
Men develop at a much slower rate.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do some. That's why that looks so funny. Okay. I actually need to bring this down further.
Her hair.
Yeah, I'll bring her hair down further, but her arm needed to be further down.
Ah.
Just by a little bit, but.
And then bring her hair down behind it.
Yeah, I'll bring her hair down to like here.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, and I think I'm okay because I moved her arm a little bit, but it actually was supposed to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
But where I moved her arm is actually a little higher up. I'm not going to worry about it so much. But that does mean that I need to work on shading differently than what I'm looking at over here. That I'm actually going to have to think about.
Keep trying, G. You'll get there one day.
I'm convinced I'm never going to hit, like, emotional maturity. Here's underarm shading. I can can also make that a little smaller whenever. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the blue so I can actually touch up some of these little spaces.
I think because you're doing almost full coloring on everything.
I think having the white will be too stark.
Yeah, I think that doing the full blue.
So I think doing the full blue and doing the bubbles will be fun.
And like I said, then having the green scales on the side. And...
Yeah. So I'm going to change this to just a dark purple over here. Some detail on the shells.
Billy, aren't we all though?
What?
Essentially 12-year-olds that can vote, run a car, and buy alcohol?
Yeah, basically. I've never claimed to be an adult. I do adult things. I do things like adulting. But
there's a couch over here that I really want to go lay down on right now.
You can if you want. But then you'll probably go sleep.
Nah, I won't sleep. Take my iPad over there so I can
Probably more comfortable. I don't mind. You want to head over there?
They can still hear me if I'm talking, because microphones and
Because that's how mics work.
speech.
And you're a theater person, so
I'll project.
I can do all of that except renting a car. That's right. I've never understood why 21 isn't the thing for renting a car.
You can rent a car at 21, it just costs more money.
Does it? I thought you had to be 25.
No.
I know, like, at Disney, you have to be... I think you have to be... Oh, insurance makes sense. Disney, you have to be, I think... You have to be 21 to have a room. But if you have anyone under the age of 18, you have to have somebody that is 25 in order to do it. Which, that's the same way for, like, renting houses and stuff at the beach. Okay, wait, you said, Alkali Metal, you said you're not 21 yet, but you can buy alcohol. That tells me that you are not from the States. I feel like I knew that already, but I don't remember, because I have the memory of a goldfish. I remember names really well. Like, I'll recognize your all's names popping in here. Basically sunshiny. Canadian! Okay. Okay, hang on, you all. I've got to get situated.
Lots of Canadians.
We do have lots of Canadians. I love Canadians. I'm assuming I live with Canadians anyway. I've never actually met a Canadian. Yes, you did change it recently, but I did figure out who you were. I don't know if I could say your old screen name or not, but I did know who you were when you popped in.
Yeah, because you posted it in the Wormwood Discord.
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to do some...
You are moving the whole table right now.
I know, I had to get my legs were exceptionally uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
Do some highlighting on the shells, and then they should be finished.
So what do you have left to do after you finish the shells? Is it mainly the hair?
Hair!
Nice.
And honestly, the hair will probably take the majority. Will take the hair will take quite a bit of time. Nothing on the bottom. I'm so digging this music. For as frenetic as some of it is, it's like super relaxing. So that's why that's probably because I'm painting, and I find painting exceptionally relaxing.
Oh, Jesus, I was just staring at this screen trying to figure out what was going on behind your head, and I realized it's your
it's
water.
the water dish, or the water, yeah. Okay, I think that is good on the shells. Oh, that's so cute, Meta Mommy. I love that so much. Okay, hair. Lord have mercy on me. Alright.
Well, good news is they recognized it.
That is good. Tiny Human recognized it, so I feel like if kids recognize it, that is your, like, thing of, okay, it looks like the character. You're good.
That's true, G.
We do old goldfish bay. Listen, my attention span is... I know my attention span is worse than a goldfish. And it's just getting worse. I'm not gonna lie, I was super confused there for a second. Alkali. But I totally agree, I love goldfish as well.
Now I want goldfish, guys. Stop it. By the way, can you guys hear me over there? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, can you all hear Steven whenever he's yelling from a distance? From a distance.
Good.
He wants to make sure his voice is heard.
I need attention too.
Alright, so here's where it's going to get a little wonky. Because now I have to try and figure out how I'm going to incorporate hair that actually isn't in my reference photo.
Just make it up as you go.
That's kind of what I'm doing. I also need to remember that these lines don't have to actually connect to anything.
Nope.
I don't. That's something that I usually forget with hair, is that hair doesn't have to connect.
Especially Disney hair.
Yeah. I'm gonna connect that, I think. Alright, y'all. Getting there. I'm gonna use some. I 1000% almost put my brush in your drink, Steven.
Please don't do that.
Well, you're not even over here to have it, so. Hair is just sick. I find doing hair is like, it's something that shouldn't be difficult, but it is difficult to get it to look right. And I haven't quite figured out how to fully flesh those things out. I need to take some red to some of these because there's still a lot of white showing through in places.
In with the highlights.
I haven't gotten into the highlights yet, but some of these places aren't going to be highlights. And I like to make sure that everything is... I want to make sure it's all filled in before I start doing my highlights.
Good. Good, good music.
Oh, good.
So is that red just called Ariel's hair red?
The thing is with Ariel's hair, it's basically just primary red. Oh, I need to do that. Okay. No worries, no worries.
Miss Valley, it just means that you're like having a fight at a disco or something.
A little bit of shadow right here. Give her heart. I'm actually gonna highlight that middle bit.
If anybody's new out there,
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
go for it.
If anybody is new out there, I am 1/3 of Board Game House. Usually we play board games Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But today we are doing our very first creative stream. where I am painting a pair of shoes for my sister-in-law for her trip to Disney, as voted on by the community. So, that's what we're doing.
If you enjoy the content,
Oh yeah.
or want to come back and see the other two of us and hear and see what this beautiful Cincinnati voice looks like,
Oh jeez.
hit that heart button. We're only 8 followers away from our goal of 350 followers.
It's crazy to me.
Billy, yes, she does seal them.
Yeah, sealing is actually the super easy part. All I use is a clear spray sealant. Easy peasy. No muss, no fuss.
Yeah, more creation. They actually have a whole channel that is just like old, like remade video game music.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, spending a little bit of your Sunday with us.
Hey Steven, what time do I need to be done with this by?
Yeah, about an hour. You're good. I mean, you have an hour until I'm going to kick you off. I'm guessing. I'm hoping you can finish up a little before that.
Whoa. Oh, bye Neon Froggy. Thank you for watching on your lunch break. You could choose to be anywhere you want right now, and you chose to be here. So now we're just getting some of these highlights in. Once I get the highlights done, I think she might be finished. I see one spot that I want to fix, but I can do that real fast. At that point is whenever people need to start telling me, walk away. Because I will 1000% fuss with this until it just becomes too much. Steven? You want to come sit in my seat for a second so I can go put some contact solution on one contact?
Sure.
Okay, because it's really bothering me.
I'll be Megan for a minute.
Can be Megan for a minute.
I'm gonna paint too.
Please don't. I'll be right back, guys. I just gotta walk away for just a second. Hopefully not trip and fall.
Oh, geez. I'm too tall for this. There. I'm Megan, guys. How are you? Like Megan was saying, we normally play board games on the internet, but we do have other... Yeah, I know. I'm not Megan. I know. I'm not nearly that pretty. But we have other hobbies that we want to share with you guys, too. Like Megan is one hell of a little artist here. If you... Considering that this shoe started completely blank just a couple hours ago, she's gotten... What am I going to art for you? I mean, if I want to mess with Megan, I can just sit here and be like this when she comes back in here. Thank you. I've been growing it out for a little bit now. Are you guys impressed with my my art skills? It is an unused brush, don't worry. Jeez, son getting all violent. So how many of you guys are going to be at Gen Con? I don't know how many of you guys I'm going to meet. Billy, I know I think that you said you're going to Gen Con. Sonny, I know you're going to be at Gen Con. Mrs. Valley, I know you're going to be there. Yeah, you know. Oh, no. Boo. Well, Alkali, if you ever get a chance, it is worth being a special trip. Gen Con is awesome. Well, start saving now, and then next year go. Because the ticket's only like $110 for the week, or for the 4-day event. I'm painting. I'm arting.
You're arting?
Alright, she's back. I'm gonna give her back her seat.
Careful right there. That is a rough.
Oh, sit back down. I have to adjust the camera. You're short.
You are correct. Okay.
So lean back into your lower wing.
Lean. There we go. Okay. So.
Back to it. Finish the shoe.
Where was I?
It's like seeing Stephen Sondheim, but instead of finishing a hat, you're finishing a shoe.
I'm finishing a show. Finishing that. I love that show.
Ugh. Back to my couch.
For those of you who are musical theater nerds, like me, and those of you, I guess, who aren't, that is a reference to Sunday in the Park with George, which is all about the artist. Oh my gosh, don't know his name. He did the really famous pointillism painting of the park. But last year, or the year before last, the Kennedy Center did a production of it. Was it the Kennedy Center? Or was it actually on Broadway?
I think it was on Broadway.
I think it went on Broadway. But it had Annalee Ashford and Jake Gyllenhaal in it. And I was thoroughly unimpressed with the casting of Jake Gyllenhaal for this role. And I had to eat my words, like, hard, because they did a cast recording of it, and it is fantastic. Yes, that one. So if you've ever been wondering what Jake Gyllenhaal sounds like when he's singing, go listen to the cast album. If you're into that sort of thing.
Was that role originally produced? The role was originally done by
Mandy Patinkin,
right?
It was Mandy Patinkin and Bernadette Peters, who originated George and Dot.
LJSYD just said they need a pair of Ariel shoes.
All you gotta do is ask me. I've made you a bunch of Ariel stuff before. Also, for those of you who don't know, that's my mom.
I knew who it was. I just wasn't named after.
I didn't dox her.
Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she just want to claim you as her own.
I'll make you a pair of shoes. Give me shoes. If you get me shoes that you want painted, I will paint them for you. Ooh, you know what would be cool? You give me a pair of running shoes, and I'll paint you Ariel in those running shoes. So you can wear them to the gym.
Highlights and lowlights and all the lights.
All the lights. I think that might. That might do it.
So about 55 minutes from my game starts. Do you want to paint the rest of the shoe blue? Or paint the blue part of it? Or do you think that are you good with what you have done for today?
I can keep painting. This is the most relaxed I've felt in a while, so
You good to keep going?
I'm good to keep going. The only thing that's bothering me right now are my contacts. I told you all, that's my thing. I will pick and pick and pick at it.
Yeah. Bust out that big brush again. And paint a lot of that blue.
Give me 0.2 seconds. I want to fix something. Fix her cheek. I'm still not happy with her. There. Okay. Now I can set her down. Alright, so I think she's finished.
Paint the ocean. Paint the ocean.
So now I gotta figure out what colors I'm going to use for the ocean.
You can always pull up another picture and see what colors they use around it.
I could. Alright. So I think I'm gonna do some blending on the shoe itself, because that's always super fun.
What do you mean?
So like putting, okay, so I have a thing about blending on stuff instead of trying to like mixing colors on the canvas instead of mixing it off the canvas, because I think that it causes some really cool like blending stuff. So I think I'm gonna try and do that.
Blending stuff. Is that the
That is the technical term, blending stuff.
check? Sure.
Somebody posted in the Wormwood Discord, they did the pouring stuff, and that is on my list of things to do. But the medium, the actual pouring medium is kind of expensive. And I need to make sure that I have the right colors. Yeah, the acrylic pours are... Wait, Billy Bogota, do you not know what the... Yes, wait, hang on, I'm confused. Words. Yes. So basically you just put paint into like this pouring medium, and then you can pour it into like one thing and then pour it onto the canvas, and it makes like these really cool like designs, and it's really neat. And I actually want to do that, and then once that dries, paint stuff on top of it. I have some ideas that I really want to try out with it. So that is on my list of things to do. Alright. Ooh, that's fun, Mrs. Valley. Here are my paints. I am kind of out of break. That's okay. I'm gonna use this turquoise. Or that ocean breeze, I think is what it's called. That's turquoise. The baby blue. And then this dark blue. Alright, well, let's see what happens here.
Are you gonna start like far away from her and then work?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll have to go through with gentle. Go get some food, more creations.
If it looks delicious, post it in the BGH noms on the Discord.
Yes, thank you for stopping by. It's really fun to see some of the Wormwood community stopping in.
And RBG, thank you for gifting that sub.
Yes, thank you for gifting that sub. So I like doing stuff like this because I think it gives it more depth than just blue, you know? Because the ocean is all sorts of different colors.
Game done, raid time. You're raiding from our Discord to the Twitch. Well, put out welcome mats for yourself.
I think. Now I'm working on.
Do you want to show them the?
For those of you who are coming back, I can't really right now because I have to work when this stuff is wet.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I would show them where I'm at.
Well, Zinra, where's the rest of your raid? There we go, RPG.
I'm here.
Well, I'm actually more calling out people like Ray and Eldot.
This Eldot's eating.
Internal raid of ourselves. Well, food of both of them. Food and stuff. I guess it's acceptable. We want
Fine,
Eldot
fine.
we want Mrs. Valley to do what she needs to do, and Ray needs to write papers. I get it. It's fine.
But you know, we're also really happy that you're here. Even
Oh,
though
yeah.
Steven keeps like focusing on other people. Jerk.
They don't know that I'm a jerk by now.
That's true.
You like how that's turning out?
I do, I do. I'm trying to keep it from getting too whiny though.
RBG loves how you blend the water.
Thank
And
you.
Maggie me _23.
Oh! Thank you very much.
Is that?
No.
Oh, okay. She is self-taught. And for anyone that's new here, we are Board Game House.
I feel like so here's my thing with self-taught. I feel like every artist is self-taught. Sure, you can take classes and things, but those classes don't help you find your own style. Like you find your own thing as you go. So everybody's kind of self-taught.
True. For anyone that's just joining us, we're Board Game House. Well, she's 1/3 of Board Game House.
I'm 1/3 of Board Game House.
We normally play board games on the internet on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then every so often we do pop-up streams, we do other things. Megan is a very talented little artist, so we asked the community what they wanted to see, and they wanted to see her do some art, so that's what we're doing today.
I am really liking how this is turning out. Light.
But that explains why a channel called Board Game House is doing a creative stream.
Yes. We never want to get away from our roots, which is why we keep our standard schedule the way that it is.
Derek is lurking too, so we have Derek as well. Derek is the strong silent type, question mark? Rambo out of nowhere with the dish on Derek.
Whoa, no. Speaking of, Derek, do you think that she's gonna like these? I know she was in here for a little bit.
No, I thought that was his other sister.
No, she has one too. She has an account too.
Gotcha.
She didn't say anything. Well, she did. She said that she was Slytherin.
Ah. Team leggings. 2 gods in 1 session. Is that session 2? Why would you have them beating gods and pantheons already?
Because she wants to. Gosh.
Oh. Rombra, we need to see those leggings when they come in.
Yes. I know Derek still hasn't updated the shop with the things that
The requested items?
the requested items yet. Alright, so now that we're getting close to her, let me switch brushes here. Where did the regular one that I was working with go? No. Have I gone crazy? Probably.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
In fact, this is the first time I've lost the brush that I was working with is a shock. Let's go with...
That makes more sense.
Ooh. That's such a neat story, Moore. I had something very similar to that in the first game that we played. I was actually on a quest to find out if I was a demigod or not. My party never found that out.
And in her current campaign that we're playing online, on the stream, she plays a princess.
I'm not a princess. Okay, let's go back.
But if anybody's new out there, please do hit that follow button. We're trying to get to 350 followers. We're only 8 away.
I'm not doing... Wait. Ooh, neat. I was reading. Starting to get a little camo-y on me.
No, it's not.
I just want to make sure everything is nice and blended. So I realized by doing this on this shoe, I'll have to do it on the other shoe too.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's not taking that long at all to do, so. And now you're going to get to add those fun bubbles.
I get to add the bubbles.
You can have on both shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen Ariel since she started this,
Oh yeah, there's a good shot of her.
now granted, she's only been painting for about 3 hours.
I will say, I feel like it's kind of necessary now for me to like finish the rest of these shoes on
stream.
on stream.
You are more than welcome to pop-up streams. Like do it for like a couple hours before CR or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Or just do it every so often on the weekend.
Yeah.
RBG wants to know the left shoe. Is it going to be Little Mermaid themed, or will it have other Disney touches?
Both of these are going to be Little Mermaid themed.
What's the other shoe going to have on it?
The other shoe will have, I'm planning to put Flounder and Sebastian on the other.
No love for Scuttle?
Oh, and Scuttle. Maybe Scuttle. The problem is then with Scuttle,
Is it white on white?
well, one, it's white on white, and two, he's not under the ocean.
You can always do the Scuttle scene where they all go up to see him.
Well, I want to keep continuity between the two shoes.
Fine.
You just really like Scuttle, don't you?
No, not really. Just being difficult. I really put like Blossom and Jetson on there somewhere.
I considered that too.
She's going to be putting seashells on the heels.
Yes.
Scuttles for the matching hat.
No, not real ones. So what I'm going to do, and I'll probably go ahead and start it, is I'm going to put, because I don't want these to be over, I don't want them to overpower her Disney bound, because that's what these are actually for. So I don't want to do like big scenes like I usually would. So I'm going to paint.
Don't get the water underneath on me.
Oh, thank you. Paint the two sides here green and do her scales. And then I'm going to put the purple back here to represent her shells on both shoes. So I'll only be doing characters on the toes.
Disney bound RBG. Do you explain what that is again?
Sure. For any of you who don't know what Disney bound is, it is basically, you know what? The closest thing that I can put this to is casual cosplay. Doing a character in a casual setting. That's essentially what Disney bounding is. So like for Ariel, you would do green pants and a purple shirt as your Disney bound. Or I've seen a lot of people do Belle with the blue dress. So it's a really fun way for adults to be able to kind of dress up for the parks. They also have what's called Dapper Day every year, where people dress up in like 40s and 50s style clothing, and Disney bound like that. If you want to look up, let's see, Designer Daddy does a lot of Disney bounding, especially on Dapper Day. I'm actually going to plug a friend of mine. I'll have to look up her thing, but she is a fantastic Disney bounder. Or you can just look up the actual Instagram of Disney Bound.
Derek just asked about food.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to ask if you would like order something. I love Instagram. I prefer Instagram over everything, but that's because I'm a very visual person, so I like to look at people's pictures.
Don't forget, underneath her arm.
Underneath her arm. Oh, you know what? I was actually going to bring her hair down a little further, but I don't think I need to. Also, I've already started painting the blue. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put some bubbles. These may be a little hard to see on stream.
Well, afterwards we'll take some pictures and post them to Discord. And maybe on social medias too.
Yeah.
And Derek asked about Pizza Hut.
Okay, you know that I don't like Pizza Hut. This is where you run that fine line of overdoing it. Oh, I need to fill that in real fast. There's some blank spots.
Where are you going to
Put the hidden Mickey. I don't know yet. There will definitely be one though. I may put it on the inside here.
Round for round, if you're coming back, you have to bring the leggings. Megan, what do you want? I can order pizza or DoorDash something.
Oh no. I'm concentrating right now.
That'd be a trip, Billy, because there's not a White Castle anywhere near us. I don't know if Tide delivers. I don't DoorDash will do Tide.
The only thing, one thing will do Thai, but I don't think that we can order it right now. It's that Charleston delivers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's true. We should just make a list of places that we can order from and give each one, associate each one with the side of a D20.
This sounds like a great plan.
You know, because people are like, I don't want that.
That's true. You are not wrong on that. Okay. I think the bubbles. Hidden Mickey bubble. Because obviously. So there is one shoe partially done. What time is it? 4:30. I should probably get in soon, shouldn't I? So you can get ready. So it took me what, 3 hours to get Ariel done?
Yeah.
There we go. If you like what you saw, consider giving us a follow. Hit that purple heart that's up in the corner on that side of the screen, I think. And I'm gonna have to wrap it up because Steven has a D&D game this evening. And I have to go write the how to play for tomorrow so we can film it after your D&D game. So, but here is the first part of the shoe. She came out honestly better than I anticipated. And I really like the water that I did. So, woo. So thank you for joining us for our first creative stream.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna go back to main stream. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This was our first ever creative stream. Hopefully we'll be doing more in the future. If that's something you all want. Like I said, I feel like I have to do the rest of the shoes on stream, at least the toes. Like maybe I can get the
I think you do all on 3 streams. You do another one where you get all of this toe done.
The characters done, and
then I think that the sides and the back you can do those pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Or one more, like one longer stream, you just do this one and then all the other stuff.
So I hope that you all enjoyed yourselves. Like I said, if you like what you saw, please consider giving us a follow. We should be doing this again. Hey, fangirl! You caught me just at the end!
Well, okay, the problem is if I'm sculpting things, it's going to end up being Play-Doh penises.
That's true.
And I don't want to get banned.
But I think that this is actually going to be, I think Steven's going to put this up.
Yeah, we'll put this up on the YouTube.
On YouTube, so you can catch up on it.
And also, it's also going to be a VOD, so you can watch it right now.
Yeah, you can watch it right now.
And you can literally watch this shoe that's, well, no, I'm going to switch back again.
Here, we're going to switch back so we can show you.
So you're going to watch the shoe go from this
to this.
To that.
So that's the progress that I made today.
So yeah. Back to close up. Ooh.
So, thank you. Like I said, if you like what you saw, consider giving us a follow. Thank you to our 2 new followers, Muha7 and Slick Vixen 93. We appreciate it so much. We are only, gosh, 8 away from our goal, our end goal for April, which is 350 followers. So,
RBG, thank you for that gifted sub.
yes, thank you for the gifted sub. If you are new, I am 1/3 of Board Game House. Usually we play board games Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays we play regular board games, and the last Friday of the month we play Jackbox with the community. Wednesdays we alternate between our homebrew D&D game, 3 Sheets to the Wind, and Legacy games. We just finished our Betrayal Legacy playthrough, and we will be starting our Gloomhaven playthrough in 2 weeks.
Fangirl, I'm sitting right here.
Fangirl, I love you. Come join us in the Discord, where we're super active and we let you know when we're streaming, and our fun pop-up streams like this, and our socials. Follow us on all of our socials. Go sub on our YouTube, where we put this video will be up there. All of our previous playthroughs of games, plus our Twitch Sings playthrough whenever it finally gets fixed. And all of our how to plays for the games that we've played so far are up there as well. If you want to catch up on our D&D stream before Wednesday, they're all up there. But I think that's it. Thank you for such a successful creative stream. Thank you all so much. But I will see you guys tomorrow.
Are you going to say Derek's lines is that here?
No, because it's not my line. So I'm just going to go, bye!